This is the incredible true story of how a prisoner escaped from a high-security facility in Italy using nothing but dental floss. In the next moments, you'll see how a harmless everyday item became the key, and the one risky move that nearly ended the escape. If you enjoy real prison escapes and impossible breakouts, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell, and hit the like button on this video. This facility, the Carcere di Fossombrone, a maximum security institution located in the Marche region of Italy, was constructed in the 19th century and underwent significant modernizations in the late 20th century. Its design incorporated formidable structural elements, reinforced concrete walls, hardened steel bars, and a commanding position on a natural elevation. Prison authorities consistently classified Fossombrone as an escape-proof facility, citing its architectural integrity, advanced surveillance systems, and stringent procedural controls. The institution's reputation rested on its record of 0 successful escapes from its high-security wings. The subsequent events demonstrated a critical failure in the perceived impregnability of the system and the absolute authority of its security measures. Within the prison's internal perimeter, the morning routine proceeded according to established schedules. Correctional officers conducted their shifts, surveillance cameras transmitted continuous feeds, and automated gate systems operated without incident. No alarms had activated. No unauthorized movements registered on motion sensors. The prison's command center reported normal operational status across all sectors. The absence of the man from cell 212, located on the 4th floor of the high-security block, remained entirely undetected. The deception had succeeded, allowing a prisoner to exit the prison's most secure area without triggering any immediate alert or visible sign of breach. 2 weeks prior, the situation inside cell 212 of Fossombrone prison appeared unchanged. A man named Giuseppe Verdi occupied the cell. Verdi, 43, was serving a 28-year sentence for aggravated robbery and multiple counts of fraud. His criminal record detailed a history of calculated risks and precise execution in nonviolent offenses. Psychological assessments, conducted by prison authorities upon his intake, documented his above-average intelligence, specifically in problem-solving and strategic planning. These reports also noted a strong internal locus of control and a significant aversion to confinement. His motivation for escape stemmed from a firm conviction that his sentencing was excessively harsh, an injustice he resolved to rectify by regaining his freedom. His prior attempts at appealing his conviction had been unsuccessful. The Carcere di Fossombrone was designed to be the ultimate containment system. The facility occupied a 2-hectare site. Perimeter walls, constructed from high-density concrete, stood 8 meters tall, crowned with multiple coils of razor wire extending 1 meter outwards. Guard towers, equipped with searchlights and fixed surveillance cameras, overlooked the entire perimeter, positioned at 50-meter intervals. The prison's internal architecture featured solid steel doors, reinforced window frames, and narrow, supervised corridors. Cell windows, including those in cell 212, were 60 by 40 centimeters, secured with 3 vertical steel bars, each 2.5 centimeters in diameter. These bars were embedded 10 centimeters deep into the concrete wall frame. Access to exterior walls from cell blocks was intended to be impossible without breaching multiple layers of security. Verdi's cell, cell 212, presented a formidable, seemingly impossible physical limitation. Located on the 4th floor, the window offered a direct view of the prison's exterior wall, a sheer 40-meter drop to the ground. The 3 steel bars blocked any attempt at direct passage. The window's narrow dimensions further restricted movement. To exit the cell, Verdi needed to remove at least 2 of these bars and then devise a method to descend the extreme vertical distance without being detected or having the improvised equipment fail. No standard prison tools could accomplish this task within a cell under constant, albeit indirect, supervision. The materials at his disposal were limited to his personal hygiene items and the basic furniture provided by the institution. Verdi's plan evolved over 17 months, relying on extreme patience, meticulous preparation, and ingenious improvisation. He began by accumulating dental floss provided in his weekly hygiene kit. Each strand was 45 centimeters long, made from a durable nylon polymer. He concealed the collected floss inside a hollowed-out bar of soap, a common method of contraband storage among prisoners. Over time, he amassed 3,500 individual strands of floss. He then meticulously braided these strands into a single cohesive rope. He used a technique similar to macrame, twisting and knotting small bundles together to form a cord approximately 1.5 millimeters in diameter. He periodically tested sections of this braided cord for tensile strength, applying weights exceeding 50 kilograms. To address the window bars, Verdi utilized a sharpened spoon handle. He meticulously scraped away the mortar surrounding the steel bars, focusing on the points where they entered the concrete frame. This process was conducted primarily during late-night hours when ambient noise levels were lowest. To camouflage his work during daily inspections, he applied a mixture of dirt and toothpaste to the loosened mortar, creating an appearance of undisturbed sealant. For a grappling hook, he detached a component from his bed frame, a section of hardened steel 15 centimeters long, and sharpened one end against the concrete floor of his cell. To deceive guards during the escape, he constructed a rudimentary dummy from pillows and blankets, positioning it in his bed to simulate his presence. He positioned a small mirror at an angle, allowing him to monitor the corridor outside his cell without being seen from his vantage point. The dental floss, initially a mundane hygiene item, transformed into the most critical component of Verdi's escape. Each individual strand, while thin, possessed a significant tensile strength of approximately 2 kilograms. When braided together into a single cord containing thousands of these strands, the collective strength multiplied. Verdi's final rope, 45 meters in length, was calculated to safely support a weight of 150 kilograms, providing a safety margin for his 78-kilogram body weight. This transformation from a common consumer product to an essential piece of engineering demonstrated a profound understanding of material properties and their potential applications under extreme duress. The object's inconspicuous nature also allowed for its covert accumulation and modification over an extended period without detection. The night of October 12th was selected for the escape. Weather forecasts predicted clear skies and minimal wind, conditions favorable for a vertical descent. At 1:30, the prison's external lights provided enough illumination for Verdi to navigate the outside wall. The internal prison schedule dictated a reduced guard presence in the cell blocks between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, creating a crucial window of opportunity. Verdi placed his improvised dummy in his bed, adjusting the blanket to obscure its artificial nature. He positioned a small thin towel at the bottom of his cell door, a prearranged signal for himself that the corridor was clear based on the absence of light from patrol movements. The only sound was the distant hum of the prison's ventilation system and the occasional sound of his own calculated movements. Verdi initiated the execution phase by removing the camouflaged mortar around the window bars. He used the sharpened spoon handle to widen the existing fissures. This process lasted 3 hours, generating minimal noise. At 2:15, the first steel bar, loosened from its concrete embedding, detached. He then dislodged the second bar, creating a horizontal gap 12 centimeters wide, sufficient for his body to pass through sideways. He secured one end of his braided dental floss rope to the remaining window bar, knotting it 5 times to ensure maximum friction and stability. He then tested the connection by pulling down with his full body weight, verifying its integrity. At 2:30, Verdi began his descent from the 4th-floor window. He passed through the narrow opening, then lowered himself slowly, feet first, onto the exterior wall. He wrapped the braided floss rope around his torso and secured it with a series of improvised knots, providing a friction point to control his descent speed. His improvised cloth gloves provided limited protection against the rope's abrasive surface. His descent was methodical, calculated at approximately 3 meters per minute. The ambient temperature was 8 degrees Celsius. The rope, despite its strength, stretched subtly under his weight. Any misjudgment in knot tension or hand placement would lead to an uncontrolled slide. The descent took approximately 15 minutes to cover the 40 meters. Verdi reached the ground at 2:45. He landed in a narrow, unmonitored shrubbery patch located 15 meters from the outer perimeter wall. This specific section of the ground level was not covered by surveillance cameras due to an oversight in the prison's optical range. He then scaled a 2-meter internal fence, which was not equipped with alarms or razor wire. He spent 10 minutes observing the patterns of external patrols from a concealed drainage pipe before proceeding. At 3 o'clock, he exited the prison property through an open service gate. This gate, located on the northern side of the facility, was left unattended during a refuse collection period, a routine lapse in security at that specific hour. He then walked into the adjacent town of Fossombrone, proceeding along a quiet street, unnoticed by the few individuals present. The following morning, at 7 o'clock, during the routine cell count, Correctional Officer Marco Rossi approached cell 212. He observed the stationary figure under the blanket. Upon closer inspection, Rossi noted the unnatural stillness of the figure. A subsequent physical check revealed the presence of a dummy constructed from pillows and blankets. Further examination of the cell revealed the removed window bars and the braided dental floss rope still secured to the remaining bar. An immediate, high-priority alarm was triggered throughout the Carcere di Fossombrone. The prison was placed under a full lockdown. Authorities determined the escape had occurred approximately 4 hours prior, between 2:30 and 3:30. The Polizia di Stato immediately launched a nationwide manhunt for Giuseppe Verdi. All major transit points, including highways, train stations and ports, were placed on alert. Interpol alerts were issued across European Union borders. Roadblocks were established on all major arteries within a 50-kilometer radius of Fossombrone. Investigative units conducted extensive searches in urban areas and remote countryside locations. Reports of Verdi sightings in Ancona, a port city 50 kilometers east, and Rimini, a northern coastal city, were investigated by multiple police units. These leads, however, proved unsubstantiated. Prison security footage from the previous 48 hours was meticulously reviewed by a team of 15 officers, but no unusual activity related to the escape was observed until the discovery. 3 days later, on October 15th, at 14:30, Giuseppe Verdi was identified in Pesaro, a coastal town approximately 30 kilometers from Fossombrone. He had entered a small family-owned trattoria and ordered a meal. His method of payment, using cash, combined with his distinct facial features and the highly publicized local news reports, caught the attention of the trattoria's proprietor. The proprietor discreetly contacted local law enforcement. Uniformed police officers from the Pesaro Carabinieri station responded within 8 minutes. Verdi, seated at a table, offered no resistance upon their arrival. He was found in possession of €370 in various denominations and a crudely forged identity document. He was transported back to Fossombrone under maximum security protocols. The escape of Giuseppe Verdi prompted a full governmental inquiry into the security protocols and architectural vulnerabilities of Italy's maximum security prison system. Within 6 months of the incident, a new directive was issued across all correctional facilities, mandating daily physical inspections of all cell windows, including stress tests on bars and frames. Metal detectors and secondary screening procedures were implemented at all staff and visitor entrances. The tensile strength specifications for standard prison-issued dental floss were significantly reduced, and its quantity was limited. 5 prison officers, including the shift supervisor, received disciplinary actions for negligence, ranging from suspensions to demotions. The total cost of the manhunt, investigative resources, and subsequent security upgrades was estimated at over €1.2 million. Giuseppe Verdi received an additional sentence of 5 years for escaping state custody and charges related to the possession of forged documents. He was subsequently transferred to the Carcere di L'Aquila, a maximum security facility, where he was placed under constant 24-hour surveillance. His cell incorporated additional steel reinforcements, and his daily activities were monitored by multiple camera feeds. The detailed account of his escape, particularly his ingenious use of dental floss, became a case study in correctional training academies across Italy and Europe, illustrating the constant challenge of maintaining security against determined and intelligent individuals. The event underscored the critical importance of scrutinizing every element of prison design and every routine procedure.